Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Guys, our set looks like ass this week because we
fuck it. This is the new set. Roll the intro.
This is it with the ladder in the back?
Stop it. This is the new set. Roll the intro. Yep, let's go home.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Till 9, our weekly podcast hosted by myself and boyfriend Jeremy.
No, just and boyfriend.
And boyfriend. Okay, no, but for real, we are at the halfway mark of flipping this entire room. And I would say by maybe next pod, but for sure the pod after that, it'll be cute as fuck.
I kind of like the ladder.
You like the ladder?
Yeah.
I dragged the plant in so that I could have a cuter background, and it was definitely worth it.
Remember the show Home Improvement with Tim Allen?
Yeah.
I feel like this is very...
This is it?
Yeah.
This is it.
Your side looks way cuter than mine.
I told you, it's because I dragged the plant in. I asked you if you wanted a plant. You said no.
No, I want this ladder.
Yeah, you want the ladder.
To showcase how...
how handy we are?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, welcome back to the pod. This is just some real life shit. We're in the middle of
We're very far away from each other
I
today.
know, I feel very far.
Yeah.
We didn't do a very good job of putting ourselves back.
We're not
to
refocusing
where,
these fucking cameras.
No. This is it. Like just yeah. I mean, you're very loud here in my ears, so what else is new? But
and for all those taking count, that's the first time she's rude to me on this podcast.
If you guys only knew how much Jeremy, the bullying ratio in real life, I would say is 80-20 you bullying me. For sure.
If that's what you'd like to tell everyone, I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. Yeah, I feel good about that.
Anyway.
Babe, did you think that I'm just diving right in also.
Oh, good.
Yeah, just coming in hot. When you were younger, did you think that you would have kids by 28?
Probably, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Right?
And if I didn't have like kids, I would be in the process of having that kid.
So fucking.
Actually, you know what?
What?
I believe that when I was in high school, I think the idea was to have a kid by 30. So I think I'm still on track. Yeah.
Oh, there's something weird and filmy in my coffee.
Maybe you could just drink it louder into the microphone.
Wait, here, ready? I don't know what happened there.
That's the least ASMR thing
Yeah,
I've
that
ever
was
seen.
not ASMR. I'm so sorry. That was just like a drinking malfunction on my part.
A near puke.
Yeah, a near spewing of coffee. Yeah, before 30 for sure. I think when I was younger, there was no world where I wouldn't live in either my hometown or the next big city over, which was Toronto, which was like an hour away, and that I would be living a far different life than I am now. That's for sure.
I had no intention of staying in Rockford.
Oh yeah.
No intention.
No intention.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think I kind of personified that in the way that it's negative to say in the way that I treated some people, but also the way that I kind of viewed my existence in general. Like, you know how like as a kid, it's very obvious to like, when am I going to use this? This is stupid. I don't want to do this. It was like, I don't want to do this because I'm a kid and it's inconvenient, blah, blah, blah. But also like, that's not going to be useful for me where I'm going.
Right. So you were going to where?
Chicago, New York, LA.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah. There was no world when I was younger that I would be living in the United States of America. There's just absolutely no world where that was on my 15-year-old vision board. Interesting. And here I am.
Yeah, I think I looked at the city that I was in, and it was very much just along, and it wasn't even because of like a socioeconomic kind of thing. It was like I didn't really feel like I could be as creative with the people that I knew then. And everyone that I knew that was like at the best at whatever they did left. So I was like, well, I'm going to do that too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like even on like a bigger scale of like Canada being such a much smaller country than America, like you think of like the Justin Biebers and the Drakes and the Avril Lavignes and all of
those are all in the same sentence.
Our top Canadian talent.
1, 2, and 3.
That don't even stay in the country, let alone
not
like
Ryan
their
Reynolds,
hometowns.
Not Jim Carrey. Yeah, no.
Is Ryan Gosling? I think he's Canadian too, right? I think we have all the good Ryans.
Did
I make that up?
Let's find out.
Hang on, I might have made that up. But yeah, even on like a country level perspective, I feel like you can very easily become big fish, small pond.
Born in London, Canada.
Boom! Oh, wow. That's actually really close. That was my second choice for university was London, Ontario.
You don't say.
Yeah. Wow.
Huh.
I knew we had all the good Ryans in Canada. We make them good Ryans.
Anyway, but no, I always, and it's interesting because I feel like it's also because I think my mother was so, she was never going to leave that area. So I feel like I was like, no, this doesn't apply to me because I'm going to go and do this here and leave or something. And like, I think the Midwest is great for raising families and there's a lot of like values there that are wonderful. I think there's a lot of parts that are ass backwards as well. But I think that just the cities and the coasts just attract a certain type of person. For sure. And I've always been more interested in the people that it attracted. Interesting. Yeah. Wow. So you had a big ego from the start. I don't know if it was much as an ego as it was like, I don't feel like I belong in here. Well, I also feel like too, in any kind of like arts, like I feel like it's even different in sports. And like, okay, by no means am I a sports professional I don't know anything. But it does seem like if you're really good and excel at a specific sport, there could be like a random ass state that like you might still majorly excel in, but it kind of feels like the arts is like their specific cities. And even like people think of New York and LA, but like even like Nashville, for example, I feel like is a massively artsy city that's like popping off now. Music City. Yeah, Music City. Yeah. Literally Music City. Yeah. No, I just think that like in the Midwest, like the things that personify being a man, I didn't really resonate with, like, and vibrate with, in the sense of like I wasn't interested in seeing who I could physically beat up. I didn't really vibe with people that saw the arts as a hobby and not a actual thing that you can do to make a living. Right. And there was no changing their opinions or minds there. And I was like, cool. I'll leave easier for you to leave. Right. Yeah, easier for you to leave than change your surroundings. I think I'm pretty good at selling things. Yeah. I was never going to sell them any other vision than that. So like, I feel like looking to the future, I didn't know how I was going to get there. Right. I just knew I was going to. Oh, that's good. Small kid, big dreams. Yeah. Actually, big kid, big dreams. Skinny, tall kid. Yeah, skinny, awkward kid, big dreams. Yeah. Big dreams, missing tooth, big dreams. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a great picture. Yeah. That's a great picture. So you thought that you would have kids by 30. Yeah. 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 I feel like if you would ask me at 16 what my life would look like at 30, or how old am I? 27? Yes. You're 27 today, yeah. For some reason, does this year count for getting older? Like, I don't really think it does. I think it counts as much as it's like, this is like a 10-year period and also a 1 month period. A 1 month period. Yeah. Like this year has just been so fucked in terms of like how I'm viewing time. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Totally. I don't know where I am. I mean, how old am I? We're about to be at Christmas time. I know. It's insane. What are you getting me for Christmas? What are you getting me for Christmas? I thought we were just going to go halvesies on that thing we were doing. No. I was going to Venmo you. You're going to Venmo me for Christmas? I'm going to grab some hundreds and just throw it on the table. Just Venmo me and I'll buy my own present? I'm going to add you to my family plan on Verizon. Oh my God, Jeremy asked me to be on his family plan on Verizon today, and it's getting pretty serious. Did this. It's getting pretty serious. And also, I feel like my phone bill is kind of expensive. Like, there's got to be a better way, because I feel like we want the same. Anyway, unrelated. Jeremy asked me to be on his family plan on his phone. It's kind of a big deal. A big step in the form of commitment for one male. Yeah, I mean, we're basically married now. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I definitely thought that I would go to university in Toronto or another big-ish city, live in a city. Okay, but if you didn't realize you were going to the United States, what big-ish cities were Toronto and Vancouver? Or really is anything else in Canada that's big, right? Well, I mean, anything outside of St. Catharines, my hometown, is considered a big city. Got it. Like, not actually, but like even going to like London, for example, like that's where the other university that I was looking at would have been. Where Ryan Gosling came from. Where Ryan Gosling came from. And I was only going because that was Ryan Gosling's birthplace. I get obviously. That. Yeah. Obviously. And that would have been a little bit bigger than my hometown. But even when it's just new people, it feels like a big new city. Right. When you're coming from a smallish city. I also think the idea of like reinventing yourself, totally. If you are trying to not even like run from something, but like I want to be more like this or whatever. Yeah. Like I think there's a degree of freedom that Absolutely. A new area presents. Oh my God, yeah. Even going to a new school presents that. Unless you live in a town of like 60 people and everyone knows that you fucked whatever and you don't want to be known for that. Like, there might be a few other things you could be known for besides just having rampant sex, but yeah. Could be that as well. Could be. But yeah, and when did you realize after you started YouTube that like LA was the next move for you?
There was, oh, you know what? There was a specific mental breakdown that I remember very clearly. And it was that in the peak of the lifestyle guru oversaturated 10 life hacks to improve your life period of YouTube, all of my YouTube friends that lived in LA were filming such cute outdoor footage. And it was just like the colorful, cutesy B-roll that was on the beach, and they were in Brandy Melville. And Toronto is not a place where you can film outdoors for 50% of the year. And so I felt so confined, and I felt creatively stifled that I just like couldn't. I felt like I was on like lesser ground, I guess, to even make content. And so I would go and fly to LA and try and film like 2 months worth of content, go back to Toronto and spend those 2 months editing it. So I felt like I could be making content that was on the same level as all these other girls that had access to like their backyard that was 80 degrees and sunny every day.
Right.
And so I just like, there was a specific day that I filmed that my hands were just numb by the end of the day. It was like in the middle of fall or whatever. And it was like the very last stretch of fall where you could film outside. And I was just so sad. I was so sad. And also when I graduated university, because I lived by myself in a condo in Toronto, like there would be times where I would go an entire week without interacting with another human, because all my friends are working 9 to 5.
Welcome to 2020.
Yeah, genuinely. Who knew that would be a snapshot into my future? But I would just go so long without interacting with anyone because I was connected to people through the internet who did not live in my city. I had never spoken to another YouTuber or content creator for majority of the time that I lived in Toronto. So I just felt so isolated and depressed that I was like, I cannot stay here, even just for the sake of my mental health.
Right. I think that the more that when I stopped, because I was very sports focused as like a little kid, and it wasn't I wasn't good at them, but I didn't excel at them like I did on the music or performing side.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I feel like I started getting good enough at either singing or playing drums or music in general, where I would either go into Chicago and play with people that were from around the nation, or like when I did drum corps and people were coming literally from all over the nation and world to Rockford, God only knows why, to do this. And it was like, holy shit, I am what in my circle at home, I feel like I'm one of the most talented people.
Big fish, small pond.
And I get into this scenario and I'm the least talented.
Small fish, big pond.
Right. And it's like, I would rather be the least like talent. That I remember getting so jaded when I would go back to like doing things in a community. And, oh my, Jeremy, you're amazing. This is so cool and everything. And it was like the most imposter syndrome feeling ever. Cause I'm like, no, you just don't know what good is. I'm terrible compared to these people.
Yeah.
But I want to get into their circle so that I can get better.
Yeah, right. And it gives you something to work towards and gives you a goal when you're like, oh shit, that person can smack their drumsticks on the drum like that.
Right. Well, it's also like, it's putting you in a circle with people that care equally as much about something that is niche.
Right.
That you feel normal.
Oh yeah. When your whole life is that. Yeah. And I'm sure that's all you talk about and stuff. And
totally.
Yeah.
For months.
Yeah. That makes sense. Also, guys, I'm so curious, just because like where we are now, actually, are we kind of close? We're kind of close, I guess. I don't know. But let us know in the comments, like where you are in life now versus where you thought you would be at this age when you were 10 years younger.
Oh, that's juicy.
That's juicy.
Yeah. And share that either, if you're on video, obviously YouTube's fine. Community number, you can text us that.
What's our number, babe?
For the folks on YouTube, you can obviously put that in the comments, or you could text us to the new number, which is 323-591-5267. That's just America, though, right?
No, American, Canada, North America.
And Canada. So North America?
Yeah.
Nice. So 323-591-5267. It'll be right there.
Okay, musical theater.
It'll be right there. Anyway, and let us know.
Okay, so if you've listened to like 10 minutes of any of our episodes, you know Jeremy is Ned's #1 fan. Loud and proud Ned CBD lover. But babe.
Yes?
You've been dethroned. It's my turn to be the loud and proud Ned fan. So on a less fun and more serious note, I've been having some whack-ass withdrawal symptoms while transitioning to a new anti-anxiety medication, and Ned has really come through for me to help me through the process. It's no secret that CBD has gotten crazy popular and is an effective natural remedy when you're looking to take a more holistic approach to your life. I feel like with Ned, I'm really able to tag team my mental health to feel my best.
Hello, yes, it is I, now number 2 Ned fan, who is still here to say that I love Ned and what Ned stands for. They're a wellness brand offering science-backed and nature-based solutions. They're made with zero isolates or synthetic ingredients.
You'll never catch Ned cutting a corner or sparing expense when it comes to CBD production, and we're excited for you to give Ned a try. We have a special offer for the Wild Till 9 pod listeners. Go to www.helloned.com/wild or enter code WILD, W-I-L-D, at checkout for 15% off your first one-time order or 20% off your subscription order plus free shipping.
That's HELLONED.com/wild to get 15% off your first one-time order or 20% off your first subscription order plus free shipping. Thanks, Ned. So back to the topic of babies when you were a kid. When you were in middle school, high school, whatever, when you were thinking about this random goal you were giving yourself when you were going to have kids, how many kids did you think at the time you wanted to have?
1 or 2.
Got it.
Yeah, 1 or 2. You?
I think 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I was never someone that was like, I feel like I grew up with a lot of friends that were from a big family, and I was like, holy fuck, the energy in here is so stressful. Like I can't be part of this. I can't create this for myself. And like, obviously I have so many friends who love their massive families and want to have massive families. I just don't think that I'm not the right fit for that.
No, I have no interest in having a small army of children.
Yeah. Or like a basketball team of children.
Right.
Yeah, like that's not for me. It's not for me. I would like 1 moose and 1 child.
Okay.
And that's my order.
Got it. Well, it would be hard to reverse that at this point.
Oh, no, I meant like that's my order, like as if I'm ordering fast food.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like 1 moose and 1 to 2 children.
I get stressed out. And also for our parents that are listening, please weigh in on this. Because this is like how.
And by our parents, I mean, not our parents.
Oh, no, not like Mom DIY and Donna.
They're
like,
actually the last people want to hear from about this.
Yeah. This podcast has been massively PG so far. What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, I would much rather hear the opinions of other people's parents as opposed to my own.
Oh, yeah.
So this is for anyone who's not our parents.
Yes. Anyone that is a parent.
Yeah.
That's not our parents. My mom's gonna send me a snarky text when she hears this part. And she'll be like, why don't you want my opinion? Mom, that's not how you sound, I promise. No, but I think I get scared by the idea of being potentially outnumbered. And that includes a dog.
You always go back to that.
I always go back to that. And like, it just seems like really scary to me to be outnumbered by dependents.
Right.
Which includes Moose, because like obviously a dependent.
Got it.
I literally wipe his asshole after he poops. So I think like 1 dog and 1 child, when you have a me and a you potentially, if we were to create babies, is a good balance.
Maybe.
Because like I just like I don't even understand how the super moms and super dads end up taking all of their children to their extracurricular activities when there's a small army of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't.
I genuinely don't know.
I mean, I say 1 to 2 in the sense that like, I want to put 1 in the world and
see how it goes.
And from there go, okay, yeah, this is terrible. Or, okay, we could do 1 more
Maybe
of these.
be really bad. Yeah.
Right,
My
right.
parents always told me, and I don't know how true this is or not, but it definitely scarred me a little bit and stayed with me. So that's telling. But they always said that I was such a bad baby that it discouraged them from having more.
Oddly enough, and my mother would be the first to tell anyone how much of a pain in the ass I was as a teenager. Yeah. She told me that I was a wonderful child.
Okay, so that lands us at a 50-50 chance genetically of having a easy baby.
I don't know if that necessarily lands us there, but I will think that if I had to guess at the worst case scenario, it'll be a terrible child and a terrible teen all wrapped in one.
Oh, that's fucking fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Or great baby, great teen.
Could be.
I just the sarcasm that's going to come out of this child if we procreate.
that is.
For some reason, this is how far off I am from having children. I'm thinking Procreate, like the artists app that I use to doodle things. It's called Procreate. Anyways, if we were to procreate,
if we were to spawn
a little
fucker
cinnamon roll thing.
Cinnamon roll. My least favorite type of cinnamon roll.
The fetus kind?
Yeah. Anyway, to me, the thought of children is seems so far off, but then I think to myself, like, it's probably not that far off.
Well, we were just talking about this earlier, but like, okay, so I feel like traditionally, in the most generic sense of a
well said.
What am I trying to say? In like
You haven't given me anything.
Yeah,
to work
I know.
on.
I've given you nothing. Stereotype. That's the word. The most traditional form of a stereotype is that women want children typically before men. I feel like in most cases, when you think of stereotypes, that's like always a common one that you hear of. And we were just talking about like, why is that? And you brought up a really good point that I feel like even as a woman with ovaries, I had never thought of.
Do you want me to
go forth and share?
I mean, I think it's unfair to put them at the same starting point because guys don't have anywhere near as much of a biological clock that is one going to put a hard stop on when they can safely make babies, one, and two, as women continue to outperform men in academic studies and are open to so much more opportunity than it was 50, 60, 70 years ago.
Right.
It's like women are going out, they're getting degrees, they're getting advanced degrees.
Yeah, we are.
They're getting so many more jobs and positions.
We are.
By the age of 27 and 28, right? Where they're just starting to really hit their stride in the career. And then they're also expected to pop out 2 kids before it's high risk.
Right.
That's a really, really difficult situation to be in. And like, I will give my mother 100% credit for like the visibility into like seeing just how short of a period I feel like and how hard and unfair it is to compare guys like, I'll get around to it eventually to like women's like, I'm trying to get 2 degrees. I'm trying to get a job. I'm trying to have kids. I'm trying to do all this shit before it's unsafe to do so.
Right.
It's a miracle.
I mean, fuck, I feel stressed even just listening to that, knowing that I am a part of that timeline as someone with ovaries that are, again, my mom's gonna fucking kill me for saying this. On my birthday every year, my mom half jokingly tells me that my eggs are dying every day, that I don't continue to have kids. And I think we've said this before, but my mom exclusively wants grandkids for her own selfish enjoyment.
That's so negatively positioned.
No, but she's just like newly retired and has like the most energy, and she's completely. My mom is ripped. Also, I don't know if maybe you've seen her on Instagram. She has an 8-pack. She's like this little tiny Asian woman who is just so ripped out of her mind. It's insane, and she's just like peak grandparent performance right now, and she wants to really capitalize on that. And she
the next decade, Gail, we'll get around to it.
Yeah. Well, no, because I'm 27, so after 35, you're considered high risk.
So that was sarcasm.
I know, but like I'm stressed. Like now, like I'm stressed about like
when I was going through and saying about all these ridiculous degrees and things that were none of that really applied to you, mind you. That was for other women.
I'm sorry. Who has a college degree between the two of us?
You, my dear. You, my dear.
Your bullying backfired, bitch.
You're killing it. And you use that degree every day.
I use that degree not at all, but that's okay. But that is okay. Also, degrees are much cheaper in Canada, so it feels like less of a waste when it didn't put me into like mass amounts of debt or anything.
My 7/8 didn't either.
Yeah. But I feel like you were really responsible with. Oh, but also you had scholarships, and we're so off topic of like the babies thing. Anyways, I like. Even seeing my friend Aspen, she had her first baby at Cove. Aspen would have been like 23 or 4, maybe 24. I don't think she's that much younger than I am. Maybe 24, 25. I don't know. Anyways, she literally, it seemed, and maybe this is just a social media thing, but her pregnancy just seemed so easy. She bounced back just like physically. Obviously, mentally is something that I don't personally know about, but like physically, she was back to normal so quickly. And it really is crazy because she had her baby at the same time that another friend who was 36 had her baby, and the complications were just worlds apart. And the way that my older friend struggled to bounce back and how many issues she had and how terrible she felt for so long.
But see the way you're even describing that older, right? 36 is not old, right?
No, but when like it comes on a reproduction.
When it comes to babies, it's older, right? And like, I agree with you. Absolutely. It's just very difficult. But no, I think it's probably the most like difficult part from a professional side of trying to find that balance. And I don't know how any woman does it.
Right. And I mean, even to think about having to take mat leave and put your career on pause too. It's like if you're working towards something your entire 20s and it's just like, it's so much stress. It's just so much going on.
I mean, it's no secret that I think that we're so in the infancy stages of trying to figure out how to really support people in a professional and like personal side and not have one sacrifice. Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get to the point where it is. It's a lot better than it was, but I still think we have a long way to go.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about like all the medical advancements that we make strides in every single day, but like this is not something that's really moved. Like the goalpost for when you become high risk is it has not moved. And I'm sure like the treatments and, you know, what we know has gotten better, but like it's fucking scary. It's scary. As a person whose ovaries are getting older, I am scared.
We'll be fine.
I remember reading somewhere that the female body is meant to reproduce at like peak time at like 17 or 18, and that's when you bounce back. And I'm like, can we double that?
Well, not
Will
to mention,
I bounce back?
And who knows? And I couldn't have less like actual like domain knowledge in this, but like thinking about how on top of that being the prime age, like all the amount of women that are on birth control for 20 years too, starting at age 15, I have no idea if that actually negatively like impacts you long term. I can't imagine it's good for you. So it's like on top of that, it's like adding even more probably pressure to those reproductive organs anyway.
I mean, just from experience based on my friends who have come off birth control to have kids, everyone's been okay. Like I haven't heard any like crazy horror stories or anything, but you're right. It's just like another level of like crazy shit that the female body has to deal with.
Yeah. Shout out to the guys who just fucking wake up every day and just coast.
Literally just splash some water on their fucking face and go. How nice.
Thank you.
How easy. Babe, what are we going to name our kid? Also, okay, like...
What child?
What?
What child is this?
The one that we're going to have before 35.
Okay.
Also, do you want a girl or a boy?
Guy.
Okay.
Boy, 100%.
Boy, okay.
Yeah. 100%.
Why?
Just, I've built up too much bad karma.
Please do elaborate.
Because I don't want some little fucking... I don't want a little me at 15 years old coming in. Oh, Mr. Lewis is nice to me. Oh, fuck off, kid. Don't
trying to have sex with your daughter.
Yeah, trying to poke at her.
Trying to poke at her. I hate that visual so much.
I hate that visual. She's not even alive yet.
Oh my! I think our daughter would be really pretty.
If she looks anything like you, absolutely.
The level of bullshittery that goes on in this man's head.
Anyway, I just think a guy it's easier to fuck up. I'm sorry, it's harder to fuck up with a guy.
I don't know if that's true.
I'm biased, obviously.
Yeah, you're biased. You're biased for sure.
I seem to think you can just like kind of like, you'll figure it out, big kid.
Yeah, just slap on the back and head out the door.
Right.
No, I don't think it's like that at all. I mean, I just think that parenting and even just like having a kid in this generation is so different. Like, I mean, you hear about all of the parents who just like let their kid choose their gender once they start coming into themselves and figuring out like what they like and what they don't like.
That conversation did not exist.
That conversation did not exist.
20 years ago?
Yeah,
10 years ago?
Even 10 years ago, it didn't exist. And I mean, like, yeah, it's just so different, which it has its own challenges, obviously, like just new conversations. But yeah, I think I don't know. I could go either way. I go back and forth. I think I sway towards a boy though.
I think you naturally gravitate towards guys more.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Like I have like my super tight girlfriends, but I can more casually hang out with random dudes. This sounds fucking just so sketchy and weird.
It's fine.
I love hanging out with random dudes. No, but I feel like it's easier sometimes. I don't know.
I mean, I agree, but yeah.
Maybe I just have like a deep-seated fear of like catty girls talking shit about me. I don't know.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah. I don't know. Guys are just like it's so straightforward.
The only thing that's like weird to me that like is something that didn't really exist nor had I thought about because it didn't really matter even a few years ago. It's just like the thought of bringing a child into the world and that kid having a internet filled with hours of content and facts and opinions about their parents.
Oh, yeah.
That just didn't exist unless you were an A-list celebrity from broadcast radio.
Right.
Like if you
Right.
Googled either of our names,
Yeah.
right, by the time this thing comes out, there'll be all sorts of
I'm
thoughts.
sorry. I just like to circle back on the thing is the child.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that you didn't put a gender on them. That's very
Listen, here's the deal.
progressive of you.
However they see fit to identify themselves,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
The point is, like, there is a world of opinions about us, and it'll only get bigger
Right.
before they even get out in the world. And to a degree, I don't know if there's a healthy way to do that in any city that's not New York or LA, where like that just kind of just goes. Whereas like I'm sure in Oklahoma City, like they'd have some opinions on it.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, professional athletes have been around forever, and they would have kids that have a similar.
Right, but their parents are probably like A-list celebrities in that city.
Yeah.
We're nobody.
Yeah.
You're think about all the fans like that you have around the world or whatever, but
Right.
like go to Ralph's right now. No one's gonna stop you.
I know. It kind of is. It's like
With a mask as well.
Oh yeah, add another level of that, and don't put makeup on and have hair look like ass like I do most of the time, and just no one knows who you are. It's great.
Hair look like ass. Anyway, but
Every girl knows what that means.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
It's the messy bun with baby hairs in all directions. That's exactly what it is. Yes, yes.
But it's just like the kid will have a preconceived notion, or the kid's friends, parents, or this or that, or whatever, will have preconceived notions of just like everything.
Right.
It'll just be interesting to navigate that.
Yeah. Like you were like Martha Stewart's kid.
Right.
And it's like Martha Stewart has like this empire, and then she went to jail, and then now she's besties with Snoop Dogg.
Right.
Like what a ride.
Right.
What a fucking ride.
I feel like you see like all the time with like kids with their parents on like social media, even like the A-list celebrities kids who are like, Mom, no, stop, like whatever. And they're like Reese Witherspoon. You know what I mean? It's like everyone else thinks your mom is like some like god of entertainment, and you're like, stop, Mom.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you said, what did you say the other day about how comedians, what was it? Comedians, everyone thinks they're so funny except for
their kids.
Except for their kids
Yeah.
and their wife.
Right.
For the male.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very funny anywhere except for where they spend most of their time.
Right. Which is humbling.
Right. It's
humbling. I feel like you need that.
I don't think you need to pull me down any more than you already do, but that's okay. Hey, ladies, quick heads up. Following segment, not for you. You could take a quick break and just come on back in a few minutes, okay? Yep. Thanks, y'all. Guys, now that it's just us, let's talk about the game this weekend real quick, huh? Okay, now they're definitely gone. We got to talk about those balls. Yeah, those ones. You know as well as I do, the only thing less comfortable than out-of-control pubes is cuts or razor burn from a shitty trimmer or razor. I will never forget the time I legit cut myself shaving and saw my life just flash before my eyes from pain and embarrassment. Because what was I going to do? Ask my friends how they handle their ball maintenance? Hell no. That's why this revolutionary company, Manscaped, has redesigned the electric trimmer, tastefully naming it the Lawnmower 3.0, which has proprietary advanced skin-safe technology, and it's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. The Lawnmower 3.0 comes inside their brand new Perfect Package 3.0, which makes for the perfect gift this holiday season. It's literally everything you need to keep trimmed, cut-free, and smelling nice down there. And not that I should have to say this, but don't you dare use the same trimmer on your face or use it on your balls. That's a non-starter, okay? 'Tis the season to Manscaped, so get yourself, your dad, your brother, and friends the best gift of all, the Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. Everyone's balls will thank you. So get 20% off and free shipping with code WILDTIL9, that's number 9, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code WILDTIL9, that's number 9. Clean up your nuts and make Santa proud this year. Happy holidays.
Another like really fucking weird thing that I have so many mixed feelings on is like the family vlogger situation. Like it's
God.
so weird. It's so, and I have mixed feelings.
I feel like you making a bold statement right now is that going to come back to bite you in the ass, or going to be consistent with your...
Well, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it. So I can't come back in the ass because I just like, I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't.
So walk your thoughts on what you've seen.
Okay. I mean, I think there's like one side of it. Like someone like Casey Neistat never shows, once her daughter got to be, I don't know what age she was, but once his oldest daughter started like turning into an actual like little human, he decided to stop showing her face on social media because they had an interaction with someone out in public who knew the daughter and like knew more than they were comfortable with. So he made the decision, him and his family, to not show her identity anymore, to, you know, make that decision for her until she decides otherwise. And so like that's one side of it. And then there's obviously the other side of like every family vlogger on YouTube who vlogs so much of their child's growth. And I think there's so many pros to that side as well, like being able to connect with your audience and other potentially, like if I were to have a kid right now and vlogged about, you know, my kid growing up, like you relate to so many other young parents who can see what you're going through. Because it's like, it's creating stories out of your day. But again, it's like, it's the anonymity of it.
Anonymity?
That's the, yeah. I felt like I almost said anemone there. Like the sea anemone.
Anemone.
But no, I really...
Anonymity.
Anonymity. But yeah, I really go back and forth because it's like, obviously they can't consent at that age and like they can't grasp what's like going on. But like, I don't know. What's your gut reaction to that?
I think it's hard.
I think it's hard.
Yeah.
I think it's hard.
I don't know if I'll have an answer to that until I see my kid and understand the thought of, one, if we're both still sitting around in the middle of entertainment and tech or whatever and in city, it's maybe one thing where that's part of the lifestyle that I feel like we just can't, it's a choice.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that we can't get away from it because we could, but like we're choosing to go down that route and understand that there are certain conversations we'll have to have with that kid that wouldn't exist for other people.
Right.
And understand whether or not they are mature or at a stage where they can accept that. And then vice versa. Like if we were to leave LA and go somewhere that's like not remotely normal, like I think then that would definitely be weird.
Right. That would definitely be weird. Oh God. Yeah. I go.
Might I say situational?
If we don't make situational merch at some point in 2021, I will be mad.
Okay.
I will be mad. Situational merch. It's coming. It has to.
But at the end of the day, I don't think that it's ever healthy when a child is questioning the motives of their parent towards anything that's not just like personal and like becomes work. Right.
Well, yeah, because you see, I mean, in the news, like there's been like very obvious scandals. It's not just like family vloggers living their life and like having birthday parties and doing their day-to-day shit.
Oh, it's the made up storylines. It's making their kids do challenges and then like a sketchy clip leaks where they're like being really intense, like ordering them around. It makes me just like, it makes my skin crawl. But the way you do anything is the way you do everything, right? You wouldn't do that to an adult, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I don't think you do that to a kid and you should be hyper aware of it. Realistically, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer because I think there are certain kids that are just like, they come out of the womb and they're stars and like, holy shit, you know what I mean? There's some people wow, like you were made for this kind of thing and then no one could teach that. And there are other kids that are like, mommy, why are we still doing this?
Yeah.
And
I think also in the day and age of just like social media, like a huge percentage of parents share photos of their kids on Facebook and Instagram. It's just something to be more hyper aware of when you have a massive audience.
Well, also I think what was that video or the movie we watched about like Shia LaBeouf and like him and his upbringing with his dad?
With the dad, yeah. And he was like the actor. He was a star, like a child star or whatever. Oh, what was that movie called? I can't remember.
I don't know. But yeah. The point is like that to me, because
I guess it's the intentions behind the parent that matter.
Well, it is. But also it's interesting because Are we having
a parenting podcast right now?
Kind of,
with no kids?
Yeah. Let's call Ned and Ariel after this. Like, how we do?
Ned and Ariel, help.
But not to make it even, Jesus, we're making it more serious. Okay, not to make it even more serious, but the notion of a kid having to live up to expectations is nothing new, right?
Yeah.
The notion to kid having to live up to expectations in a specific niche to get them to the next level and then hope to bring that family with them is also nothing new. Right. Think about all the athletes out there who once they make it big and the reason that they take the deal, take the check, leave college early is because they need to get to the league before they get hurt.
Yeah.
Right? It's interesting from this standpoint because like, it's not to say shit and couldn't go, really left anytime soon and like, hey kiddo, we need you to step on up. But when there's a specific expectation around what that kid needs to do to not only benefit his life, but the family's, that is a situation where I think there's a lot more wrong or negative opportunities to come out of that than positive ones.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that's interesting. Just like thinking about like being an actor is not a new profession. Being a professional athlete is not a new profession. So like that existed, just not in our lives beforehand.
Well, it's also not constantly documented in a forum that other people can then leave their opinion on it.
Right. For free, mind you.
For free, right. Yeah. It's something, and it is almost considered like, just like, oh, I didn't really mean it. Or like, I didn't think they'd see that.
Right.
There's just like that window of like, if you were watching the kid, like try and figure out how to make layups when they're a kid and that kid sucks. Like they'd see that today where they wouldn't have seen that 30 years ago.
Yeah. And then they'd be self-conscious about their layups.
LeBron James might not have become LeBron James.
Oh my God, if he was a family vlogger.
Yeah, you never know.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Family vlogging could have ruined LeBron James's life.
I don't know if we necessarily need to print that in the paper, but yeah.
But it's situational.
It's true.
Situational.
The real question here, though, who's going to be the fun parent?
And
I also, I do want, I want some feedback from who you guys, actually no, because you're going to think Lauren's the fun parent. I don't want to hear it. Don't. I take it back. I don't want to hear your opinions.
I think one, it depends on the personality of our offspring.
Okay. Let's say they're 50-50 you, me.
50-50
Yeah.
you, me.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50-50 you, me. And like based on their interests and their habits. I think there's some instances where you'll be the fun parent, but I think that... You know what? Okay, here's how I want to define it. I think that you will be more of a hard ass. I think you will be the discipline in the parent dynamic.
Okay, so I'm the disciplinarian.
You're the disciplinarian. I think on a day-to-day, though, I would be more of the scheduler to make sure people are getting in the car at the right time, that they're eating healthy meals and not spending too much time on TikTok if TikTok's still around. You know what I mean? Like, I think like I would be
So you'll be the micromanager.
I would be more of the micromanager, but I think that I'm more outwardly loving.
I think you're more lenient about things that you don't think matter.
Yes.
Like to me, I make correlations with things like, oh, you're playing recklessly. You could do that when you're not looking at the street and get run over. Therefore, I'm going to stop you from doing that, even though we're not in that scenario. Because I want that lesson to be instilled where you would go, oh, they're fine, kind of thing. But also, like, if the kid got arrested, I think they'd call me.
I don't know. No, I think if we had a 50-50 kid and it was a boy and they got arrested, I think they'd call me.
I think the girl would call me.
Maybe. Oh my God, I wish we had like made up scenarios of like what the problem would be and which parent they would go to.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I think I'm more like outwardly soft than you are.
Sure.
You're a harder individual.
Okay.
No, you know what I mean though? Like
fair,
I'm like not that you're not nice, but like I'm like outwardly bubbly and nice to like almost everyone that I meet for the most part.
Sure.
And I think that I'm a little more approachable. That's a good word. Cause like you're not a nice person.
Right.
And you're not a warm person.
But my humor is also like, if I say one thing to someone and it's like a sarcastic joke they didn't get, I'm not worried about them like not liking me or like me like circling back on that. And what I meant to say was, oh, you didn't get it, fine. Whereas you would hate to be seen or perceived in that light. Or
oh my God, I'd be like, oh my God, I hurt their feelings. Fuck.
Yeah, where I'm more like, it was a funny joke. He just didn't get it. It's not a big deal.
You're like, I'm actually really funny, and that's their loss. They didn't get that joke.
That was a funny joke.
And they missed that joke.
Right. I think that's actually a decent way to sum that up.
Yeah. I think I'm just a little more approachable. So I don't know. It's gonna be. It's really gonna be dependent on like what the little cinnamon bun is gonna look like and
what the little cinnamon bun will look like. Exactly.
Not actually. It's gonna be totally unrelated to what they look like, but what this little cinnamon bun wants to do with their life and their interests and their hobbies.
Yep.
Yeah. I think they're gonna be a sarcastic little fuck.
Absolutely.
You are just dripping in sarcasm at all times that like, I don't know. I was a little sassy sometimes as a teenager.
You sometimes lay it on real thick.
Oh yeah.
And to the point where I'm like, yo, hey, are you hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth?
I'm chill until I'm not.
Yeah. No. You're
Yeah.
95% of the time, it's definitely me. But every once in a while, I'm like, yo, chill the fuck out.
Like, even for me, that was like a little far.
Yeah, I am uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Anyway, okay, so I'll be the fun parent. Glad we talked about that.
What are we going to name our kid?
I don't fucking know.
You know what I think now is the move is to, and you know what, maybe this is like totally off the mark, but I feel like doing a genderless name, and I think any name can be genderless. Let's be very clear about that. But I feel like doing
Robert. Robert, that's a guy's name.
Okay. Yeah, but Robbie or
Peter.
Robin, if it was Robert.
Peter.
I don't know. I feel like I could make a girl's name out of I don't know. I think genderless names though is just like the way to go because it gives,
Ricardo.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Ricardo. I don't know. But I definitely have like a few names like in my head that are like, oh, it's a cute name.
Did you want to share or just do you want to say that story? Mind you, and I don't have any to give back.
You have none?
No.
I feel like there's one that we talked about forever ago that we were like, oh yeah, that's a good name. I forget it, but I think we did have that conversation at one point, no?
I think when we know, we'll know.
We'll know. Or the cinnamon bun's going to come out and I'm like, you are an Ollie.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I had Moose's name picked out before he was, I mean, I think I had, it might have been before he came out the womb.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he looked like a moose. I met him and I was like, you is Moose.
And now Moose.
And now Moose.
It's a good name.
It's a good name.
It's a good name.
It's a good
I
name.
wonder if there are any like parents who have a kid, name the kid, and then wake up one day and they're like, holy shit, I hate the name that I gave this person.
That's going to be freaking Elon Musk and Grimes being like, we named our kid a fucking
RL96432.
R2D2 or whatever the fuck.
I don't think that they sit around and think too much about their old decisions that much.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
What do you know what your name almost was?
I did have a name if I was a girl, but I can't remember.
Oh, I was almost Megan.
I don't like that for you.
I just like, you know what? It makes me, my stomach just go like, blah, blah, is that like, I know that you've probably had sex with 7 different Megans.
Megan, shh.
All the Megans at home are like,
Then.
are you not going to claim me as one of your Megans?
That's never happened. I don't recall at this time.
At this time.
Yeah.
That's even worse, babe, that you don't remember the Megans that you slept with.
Well, I didn't at this time. I'm
time.
confident at this time that I don't remember any Megans that I've had recreational. So anyway, yeah. What do you want to go to next? I mean, more importantly, let's talk about divorce.
Oh my God. I have parents that are still married. And I am
Good for you, braggart.
Minority, I think. No, actually, so the rate of which people are getting married is at an all-time low, which in turn is lowering the divorce rate.
That's fair.
Yeah. That all links up. That all makes sense in my head.
That tracks.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I mean statistics would say that we're not going to work out, and
What?
it's true. Statistics would say we're not going to work out.
No, it's 40 to 50%, I think, is the divorce rate.
Are we married yet?
What?
Are we married yet?
No.
So statistics would say it would probably not, like, we probably won't get married. And then if we do, then it probably will be 50-50.
That's so sad.
That's just statistics. That's just statistics.
Are you breaking up with me?
Oh my God. Obviously they're very incorrect, of course.
Right.
Anyway, the point of this is just like, I think statistics would say it's probably like a crapshoot. Who knows? But like to a degree, I felt worse for the kids whose parents stuck it out until they were in college, and 2 weeks after they left, they got a call like, mom and dad are breaking up, and and you're like, wait, where did this come from? Well, your dad's had a relationship with the housekeeper for 7 years now.
My God.
But
My God.
How many? I've heard that 1,000 times. It's just like at age 4, when my mom was like, so you're adopted, and things are not the same or the normal and the stereotype for you. It's different. It's not any different or whatever. But like by age 8, I had this idea in my head that like, oh, mommies and daddies everywhere aren't going to stay together just because they did get married, and shit does happen. And
I feel like that's beneficial for you to grow up with that like very realistic mindset.
I think it was.
Because like I grew up in very like picture perfect like.
Right? Can you imagine if your mom had called you like the week after you went to college and like, oh, we're breaking up?
It's my God, I'd be devastated.
You'd still be devastated.
I know I think that would really fuck me up.
I think that would seep into your trust issues with any and every other guy ever.
Yeah, I know. I think so too. I think so as well. I think, actually, I had a friend whose parents got divorced when she left for college, dated other people, and then got back together.
The lawyers couldn't figure it out, and they're like, fuck it.
No, I don't think they got legally divorced, actually. They might have just broken up and separated. And Yeah. Then came back together.
Well, I think it was interesting when I had my like last single phase, like going on dates with people that were either like already parents or had been married or whatever kind of thing. It was just like, the older you get, the more just like variables are introduced.
I forget where I was reading this, but I also, and this is like a random point that somehow someone made about how like in the olden days that people would get married for survival. Like, especially for the females, you know what I mean? Like being a woman in like the older times, like you had to depend on, even in the way that it was depicted in Queen's Gambit. Remember we were watching that and she didn't work and she had to be like a housewife and they adopted, I don't remember her name. What was her name? Also, if you haven't watched Queen's Gambit, go watch it. It was fantastic. We watched it in 24 hours.
Maybe
even less than that. Yeah.
But like when my grandfather died, my grandmother didn't have credit or everything was underneath like her name, like so needed to like start over kind of thing, just because like he had it and like that was just like how the family worked and we're start over and just like that's not the case today.
No.
But like think about
independent women who don't need no man.
Right, like you. But for whatever reason, here I am.
It's because we have the podcast, babe. I need you for the pod.
That's right. Yeah. Contractual obligations. Yeah. But like think about all the women who even had the means to put a down payment on a house not so many years ago, but still needed some guy to write it for underwriting purposes.
Ugh, like that, I hate that.
That's not a fantasy that was hundreds of years ago.
No, that's what's crazy about it. Is that it's really not that long ago.
Exactly.
And so I wonder, I feel like that's got to be a massive factor to just like marriage rates going down.
Well, I just think that people have, and I think we still have like unrealistic, unhealthy expectations for what marriage is. Marriage is not a fixer. Kids are not a fixer. And I think so many people are just like, well, we can get married and then it will remove these variables. And then like we have kids, we'll have to focus on the kid. And it's just like, if you're not in a good place in any variety of that, you putting a new label on it is not going to make it any healthier.
Is that based on personal experience?
What? You can't, but absolutely. And it's just like, I think that to a degree, we're all sitting like I just said with the statistic. Of course, that's dark, and I certainly hope that doesn't happen. But like that's probably the realistic case here. But like we all kind of go into these situations and circumstances, kind of going la 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 la. I'm sure ours is going to work out. It's going to be fine. And then when it doesn't, you're like, what? Huh? But like that's the truth and reality of it. And I wish that we were a little bit more like real with ourselves as a society to be like, that's like you're going up against some pretty shitty odds, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. I think the biggest difference between me in my years past of like trying to think about what marriage or kids or whatever that thing that I know that I want to do in my life, like think like future planning, right? I think the healthiest thing, at least for me, that I've come away with it, like swinging and missing in the past is that like not hanging my hat on something that requires two people to get to the next level in the sense of I'm going to prepare myself to do those things, whether that's marriage, have kids, financially solve all these things, right? I'm going to do that and I'm going to make sure that I hit those goals. And it's not to say that like we aren't working towards them together, but making sure and focusing on me taking care of like my side of it and not thinking that like the marriage or the kids or whatever are going to be the thing that unlocks that success, right? So like the preparation is on me, and I find like a lot of like healthy routines that I set myself up for, but it's not like I'm sitting around and going, well, I got to wait for that before I can get to this step or whatever. It's like, no, I'm just going to do 100% of what I need to do so that I'm ready to do the things that we need to do.
Totally. And I think too, it's like, it's a great way not to have like a safety net, but to just always make sure that you are taking care of you no matter what happens.
Well, the big thing, like when you were saying earlier that like women used to get married to be safe, right? That makes sense because God knows what was happening that they needed.
1950.
They needed, well, but even before that, like, they needed someone who's like quite literally physically larger to be this safety net kind of thing. But then also if they are getting into the relationship because they need a safety net, that also means that if they were to get out of that relationship, for whatever reason, they're losing that safety net, which is not healthy.
No, I feel like physically, mentally, just all of it.
All of it. Yeah. I mean, like I literally had a meeting or a call, a Zoom, whatever, with this new, a new psychiatrist. I haven't been in years and I need to like go check out my medication, and like her just going through the questions of like, my diet and exercise, my job, what I'm doing, all these things, right? I would have answered so much differently 3 or 4 years ago, just because of the way that my mindset was towards life. And it was like this like moment of like, oh, this is going pretty well. That's pretty great.
I love that for us, babe.
Yeah.
Love that for you. Love that for us. That's so nice.
But it's true. I can be the fullest amount of me and successful in me, right, as an individual. Mm-hmm. And it's not to say like we broke up tomorrow that wouldn't, like, some of it wouldn't be impacted. Of course it would. But I think what's healthy about it is that, like, you are doing what's absolutely best for you. I'm doing what's absolutely best for me.
Totally.
And those two dolphins are swimming together as opposed to just like sitting there just like butting heads. That has not always been the case before in my last relationship.
Yeah.
I'm sure that like you have like similar feelings on that. But like that's a very healthy sign for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was so unhealthy that I pushed myself in this direction by accident. And I want to make this very clear. This was not an intentional, rational, mature decision. This was like out of resent. I was like, fuck you. I'm going to do me. And
She gonna do her.
Yeah, she gonna do her. Let her do her and live that life. Mm-hmm. But it was out of resentment. It was not out of a healthy place.
Oh, my first 6 months was like, I'm going to do all the things that you thought I couldn't do and all the things you hated. I'm going to do it better kind of thing. And then eventually you wake up and you forget why you
and you're like, wow, I have an 8-pack now. This is great.
This is great. Fuck yeah. Right.
Okay, I have a really important question that I think our listeners and viewers would love a heterosexual male's opinion on.
Well, thank God we waited till the end to cover this.
We always do this. The juicy parts are always at the end.
Hit me with but the real ones know.
The real ones know. The real ones do know. Yeah. And you should encourage others to stay for the juicy shit at the end because it's always the best. Why is it that there are, and again, situational, stereotyping the hell out of this, but I just think that it touches on so many common questions that even as like someone who has a Twitter, I receive on a daily basis. Why is it that there are so many dudes in relationships that are scared of commitment? So whether, and this is, I think, more in like the dudes that are scared of commitment and are already in the relationship.
Right.
So scared to take the next step, whether that be to move in, to get engaged, to get married, to have kids. What is it?
Okay.
Speaking on behalf of the heterosexual commitment scared males in relationships.
Right. I think that might be a little too broad.
As a species.
Yeah, I can't wait for the hate mail. I get this. Well, one, I certainly don't think claim to have like the end all be all answer for every guy in every situation.
No, but I'm sure you've talked to a ton of different guy friends that have been through different scenarios. So just based on your personal experience, like again, this is not like a broad statement that's going to be true for everyone. Just like I'm just so curious, and I feel like other girls probably are as well in their relationships, like why their dude is so scared of fucking moving in or whatever it might be.
I mean, I think for a lot of guys, we are control freaks, but we don't admit it.
Right.
And because that admitting we're control freaks, admitting we care. And that's we don't want to know people to know that we care.
Right.
But it's like to commit to this means we might have to give up on something else. Right. And it's like, I think a lot of people, any type of change is immediately like, let me put the wall back. Wall up, I'll pull back. Mm-hmm. And it's not even to say that they're not interested in committing to that one thing, but committing to that one thing means they might be giving up that other thing.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that if they didn't have help or a great circle to talk through that, they wouldn't realize, oh shit, it's not even that big of a deal. Or like, even if they went to their partner and was like, I want to do this and I want to do this, but there's this thing that I'm not done with, or there's this thing that's important to me that I'm risking. If they were to be able to have that that conversation, it wouldn't be a thing. But the change and the stigma around whatever that is that they're giving up is putting them in a situation where they don't feel like they can properly convey that fear of giving up that potential control or the potential freedom or the potential flexibility.
Interesting. This is ringing very true in a lot of my own personal experiences.
It's just for me, right? That it will keep them from even entertaining the conversation because they don't understand how they can have both sides with their current understanding, and therefore it's just a wall.
Right. One of my past relationships, I feel like a phrase that I always commonly used was like, he wants his cake, he wants to have his cake and eat it too. And he wants best of both worlds without giving the relationship what it really needs, but also without just like wouldn't let go of this fear of potential change that probably wouldn't have happened, but they had labeled it as something that was going to be so detrimental to their ego, their control, whatever it was. And it was just like, they just couldn't let go.
Yeah. And I think it's unfortunately the most natural response for guys because obviously it's the most prevalent. But at the same time, it's also the most potentially harmful for them if they don't figure out how to find that balance.
Yeah,
because the
100%.
last thing a guy wants to do, the last thing, from my experience, in my opinion anyway, the last thing a guy should do is push back, and then not figure out how to communicate why they don't want to commit. And then they're given an ultimatum. They do it because of the ultimatum, but they haven't had time to process that what they're giving up. And then 2 or 3 years later down the road, they realize, you know what? I was right, comma, therefore.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put you in that box and resent you because I can't do this. And I was right. And I've lost this control. And I'm going to make sure that you know every single day that I don't have this thing anymore. And it's because you wanted this
Healthy.
thing. Absolutely. But that's the last thing that your side wants. That's not what the guy wants either, right? If it's a loving and healthy relationship, you're going to be able to have, you really will be able to have your cake and eat it too.
But they want to put the blame.
Yeah, because everyone just wants to just deflect and shit.
Yeah. Like, we're just one of the, this is like so top level, but like in my experience, taking the next step of moving in together meant that they would give up bro time.
Totally.
And being able to wake up on their own time. And I was like, in what world do you think I give a fuck what time you wake up at?
But it's not about that. It's not about what you actually think. It's about they think you think.
No, exactly. And that was like the problem. I was like, I don't have the power to control what you think I think.
Right.
No matter how many times I'd be like, I don't care what time you wake up at. I
think I'm one hell of a salesperson.
Yeah.
The only person I can't sell shit to is you and my mother.
That's right. Donna, we in this together.
Anyway, but it's true. You know, I know that I can't sell you on that kind of shit. You're going to come up with whatever you want, and that's okay.
Yeah. God damn. The heterosexual male species, man.
Oh yeah, but we have it we're so simple and easy.
We're so simple and easy.
Well, we were watching, was it Boys in the Band?
Yeah.
Or Kid the Band?
Boys in the Band, yeah.
Boys in the Band last night with Jim Parsons and everything. It was just like listening to those storylines unfold, and you're like, oh God, I don't deal with any of this.
Oh yeah. You have it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that little deep dive into the male heterosexual commitment scared brain.
Yeah, so hopefully next week it doesn't look like total shit.
You know what? I think by next pod we'll have a wallpaper up. I don't know if the art's going to come in time, but I think we're going to have really fun wallpaper up and wallpaper for sure. And then this is how we're actually getting you to come back to the podcast, is see the progression of the podcast room design, because baby, we upgrading.
Yeah, we are.
We really are.
We are.
We really are.
We want to make sure that we make $0 this year on this thing.
Obviously, yeah, because we did a redesign at episode 15. So fuck our bank account.
Thank you so much for tuning into Smartless. I am Jason Bateman.
Ooh, I'm... Who else is on Smartless again?
You'd probably be Sean Hayes, because you're not Will Arnett.
I'm Sean Hayes.
Yeah, you're Sean Hayes.
I'm Sean Hayes.
Yeah, I'd like to be Jason Bateman.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning into Smartless. This has been Smartless always has AutoZone commercials, like always, to the point where I'm like, I think I'm learning things about cars listening to their podcast.
That's great, babe.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
That's so great.
But yeah, this has been Smartless again. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.